What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Martian Tomato Podcast. I am Marley or Mars Bars,
Brennan/Tomato.
and this will be our second podcast. Now, before we jump into the actual podcast, I just want to let you all know that we do have an Instagram account, a shared Instagram account. It's called Galactic Arrowverse Hub. On there, we discuss both DC TV as well as Star Wars content. We're not really posting anything Star Wars related a lot lately because Clone Wars season 7 just wrapped up and there's not really a whole lot going on in the Star Wars world. But we do post a lot of DC stuff, so if you're interested in that, please check out our account. It will be at galactic.arrowverse.hub. And yeah, so it's kind of like a complimentary to a podcast here. So jumping right in, we'll first start off with Legends Tomorrow. So Brendan, what are your thoughts on Legends?
The Legends episode this week was really enjoyable for me.
Mhm.
I think if they did this like as a season finale, it would have been really good in my opinion because it's going to want more. But obviously, it's not the season finale and whatnot. But
Yeah.
like everything in this episode was really enjoyable. Like and Mick getting more, it's a word, more screen time sort of thing,
Yeah.
which was really enjoyable. Mick is one of my favorite characters on Legends, and he's
hmm
funny as heck because he just wants to be a
Yeah.
criminal and doesn't care anymore at this point.
Yeah. I think the zombie apocalypse stuff was really enjoyable. I like how I like. I mean, it is your typical like survive the city. You know, like you get on a bus and like there's like people like there's zombies chasing you and whatnot. I know they have the typical zombie apocalypse tropes, but like it was still enjoyable. And there was some of the stuff was pretty funny too because like they were immortal and Ava got like shot in the head. It was some pretty funny
Yeah,
stuff and whatnot.
there was some pretty funny stuff, and Zara and Constantine. I'm curious to kind of see where that goes. I don't
Oh yeah,
know if
Constantine
like
Zari. That was a really interesting scene. I never expected for those two to be close. I really thought that like Nate and Zari would be back together because I feel like
yeah, I
that was
think
kind
so
of
too.
thinking about that now. That's kind of like a story, like, kind of like it was set up in the last season where um what was it like Zari did she like had like the recording she like recorded herself
Yeah,
like saying like in another reality it was like another reality something like that and like
yeah,
it was kind of like Nate's kind of it was set up like, at the season finale and it was kind of a little bit hinted at in this season with Nate like finding Zari and eventually like those two getting back together and then like I mean it's more Zari and John now which I'm fine
yeah,
with Zari and John Constantine that's fine but like they already set up a story between Nate and the new Zari this season and it's like, okay,
yeah.
that's not really
It's gonna.
going
I
anywhere.
think it's going to be sort of a love triangle sort of thing where Zari
Yeah,
doesn't know kind of what she wants, and
yeah,
she's gonna have to pick one of them or something like that, maybe. But we'll have to see. Like this episode was really enjoyable. Like it was, I was getting emotional at some points when
hmm
Sarah said she was gonna die. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, Sarah, you're going to die, ha ha ha. But no, at the end of it, I don't know if she's gonna die. Still, we'll have to see. But I doubt it. But,
yeah. Speaking of Sarah, one thing this is kind of like I'm on the edge about this. Like, I'm not too sure whether or not I do like this or not. But Sarah with her powers is really interesting because like, she has her powers, and then the first episode that we saw her with that, she was trying to stop that demon dog. She used her powers to like predict the future and like help prevent like all her like team members getting killed. So like she can change the future because she knows like a possibility of what's going to happen later on down the road. But like she's not using it here. Now I understand the fact that like they're like they immortal type of Jews kind of ran out on them, and like you know they actually can be killed by the end of the episode. But it didn't really make any sense because she still had the power to change the future. Although I understand that like she couldn't see anything past that like bar scene because like she told Ava that she was gonna die there. But like
yeah,
she still has the power to change the future, and that's kind of weird, like weirded me out. It's like okay, I thought she could like maybe like 'cause she could do something even though like, it's like in her vision she can still see one possibility. There are other possibilities too that she can like maybe create and whatnot. But I don't know.
yeah.
That was the only off thing about that episode. Other than that, I
With
enjoyed it.
Yeah, this episode was good, but Sarah, to me, it kind of makes no sense. Like, she knows what's going to happen to her, possibility, because it's
Hmm.
multiple futures and whatnot. I
Yeah.
didn't see just like get to the bar and it's like, yeah, let's go. I get it was like kind of a cool moment, them all sitting around the bar drinking and having a good time and whatnot, but you could have
Hmm.
just left. Like, you didn't need to stay. I get it, you had to charge the watch portal thing and whatnot, but
Yeah.
it was just weird. It was just really weird. This Sarah's, I don't know what this character is weird right now.
Yeah, like her character's kind of in limbo right now. I don't. You're really gonna have to develop that more. I kind of didn't like how she got her powers in the middle of the season. I would have preferred. What I would have preferred is that she got blinded, like during like at the end of Crisis, like something happened. She lost her vision, and then like she returned to the Legends ship or with her crew and whatnot, and she has to. And like the entire season is her dealing with her powers, but yeah, like that's just what I prefer. I don't really like how like superheroes they get their powers in the middle of like a TV season. Even with
Yeah.
like Wally West, like looking back to how Wally West first got his powers, I understand that it was at the start of the season, but like when he truly became Kid Flash, that was like a good, like that was a good way into the in like season 3 of the Flash.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, his character turned out all right, but it's just that I just don't like how like when there's like a major change, like so like if they get their powers in the middle of the season, I really don't like that because then it's like, okay, you don't really have a lot of time to develop them throughout the rest of the remaining episodes, and like they're gonna have
Yeah.
to play some role in like the later in like the maybe season finale or something like that, you know. So that's really my only complaint. Other than that, I'm really interested to see how they take your character, you know,
Yeah.
and whatnot. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
Hmm. Then we'll move on to Batwoman, the Batwoman season 1 finale. So, what are your thoughts on that? I really enjoyed it, but I want to hear what you have to say about it because
Okay,
I
so
know you have a lot. You have a lot for sure.
I have a lot. I have to say, like, this episode was really good because there's multiple reasons why it's good. Like, um, Alice and father are both like, I wouldn't say like Alice is more obsessed with like killing her sister, and, like dad is more like, like vigilantes.
Hmm.
So it's like kind of weird because that woman wants to come out and say, "Yeah, I'm Batwoman." Much,
Yeah,
and right now they're not in a good place, obviously, because her father tried to kill that woman, which is her. So it's a weird dynamic at the moment. The whole episode was really good, from being betrayed by the cops to her beating a football dude that can't feel pain or whatever.
yeah.
Then obviously with Alice getting dude's Bruce Wayne's face on, which made
Oh
me
yeah, Tommy
super.
Elliott's face. Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Tommy Elliott
Tommy.
got Bruce Wayne's face. Yeah.
Yeah. That made me super excited for next season. I'm really curious to see how that would play out next season. Like if that woman realizes, like, wait, this isn't, this is this isn't really Bruce. He doesn't
Yeah.
really act like this sort of thing. So yeah,
Yeah,
really
it'd be
enjoyed
really
this whole
interesting to
episode.
see how they take Tommy Elliott's character because like him being Bruce Wayne, I don't know, like, because in the comics, it's mostly used as a like kind of way to mess with Bruce Wayne himself. But like, and really, I mean, I guess this could traumatize Kate because Kate has been like throughout the season, she's been writing to Bruce and whatnot, and she's been like hoping for Bruce to return and all that stuff. It'll be really interesting to see how that turns out and whatnot. I do you think we'd see the Batsuit, like the Batman Batsuit, next season?
I hope not, because he's not really Bruce, obviously, and I don't,
Yeah.
because he's more of a shooter. You don't really see him getting fist fights, really.
Hmm.
Maybe he's a good fighter. I don't really know. We didn't really get to see much of him fighting without his guns. So realistically, I hope they don't bring out the bat suit. I hope he's like, yeah, no, I'm not in that sort of thing. He's like, yeah, I'm done with crime fighting or something like that.
Hmm.
I hope he doesn't bring back the bat suit, because then everybody's gonna be like, oh my god, frick Batwoman. Let's just focus on Batman because everybody loves Batman. So
Oh yeah.
it's gonna be one of those
Yeah,
things.
I really hope that like okay, for me, I just don't want to see actual Bruce Wayne come back until like maybe later on down the show's life. I really want
Yeah,
to see it like if it does survive, but like if this show does move carry on. But I mean, it is getting renewed for next season. But like if we don't know whether or not it's going to be continuing on after season two. Another thing is that like with Tommy Elliott's character, I just I feel like he's gonna be that type of villain who's just gonna be like kind of constantly annoying Kate. It's gonna be one of those types of villains where it's like, oh, like hey, I show up every now and then. It's like, I mean, because like Hush is a legendary character in
yeah.
the comics, so like I mean, he's kind of hard to be well, not hard, but like we don't really see him die a lot, whatnot.
Mm.
So I don't know if they're gonna have his character be like a reoccurring character later on down the
It's
line.
that's gonna be kind of tough to
Yeah,
because like I think if he does get into the bat suit or whatever, I don't think he has the skills to be Batman. So maybe
yeah,
Kate's like, you maybe she'll think, oh yeah, he's just lost his touch. He's been out for a while. Maybe he gets hurt or something from one of the villains or something like that. And he's like, yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna need some time to train or whatever or something like
Hmm.
that. But it's just I'm really curious how they're gonna play that out next season. Like, I'm assuming Alice is gonna be the main villain next season. I'm guessing if that makes
Yeah, it seems
sense.
like it because I feel like they're gonna continue on with the whole kryptonite thing.
Yeah,
Because that small stash that Kate has left, I feel like Tommy Elliot's gonna somehow find a way to get that and whatnot. I
I
feel like
feel
it is
like
like that.
right. I feel like it's gonna be like him and like Kate and Bruce are like fighting, and then like Kate like storms out, and then like accidentally hits that photo off, and then there's a kryptonite sort of thing, and it will be kind of whack.
Yeah.
But I feel like it will be
Hmm.
something like that.
Yeah. Um, my thoughts on the finale. I thought it was good. The only thing, it was really good. I did like the whole dynamic between Kate and her father, and
I like that too.
I like how what's her face Mary's kind of getting more into the team. She's kind of like actually sticking up. Like we do have like a more sister dynamic being built up because like throughout the entirety of the season, it's kind of been like rejecting Mary and whatnot, but now you can see them actually like working together, like as like because she is part of the Batwoman team now. I feel like this is going to be our new three. 'Cause
Yeah,
usually when it comes to like the shows, they usually have like a three main characters. That's kind of like the rule of three.
yeah, yeah.
'Cause in Arrow, it was Oliver, Felicity, and Diggle.
Oh,
And then the Flash was Barry, Caitlin, Cisco. I feel like for this show, it's going to be Kate, Luke, and Mary.
yeah, Mary. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
One thing that I did find off though is that because this wasn't supposed to be the finale of Batwoman because it got cut short,
yeah,
so we ended on a big cliffhanger. For to me, the whole taking it down like that deranged like former football player. I forgot
yeah,
his name. He I just it just didn't feel like a finale like most CW DC shows do. It just didn't really feel like it because it wasn't really climactic in any way other than maybe like Mouse dying and whatnot. But it really does feel like it would fit as like the final like three episodes of a regular season. I just like I understand that, like, obviously, with all the stuff going on right now, they couldn't really film the final episodes, but at
yeah,
the same time, like, it just didn't feel like a finale. Like, out of the three season finales that we got so far from DC TV shows,
yeah.
this felt like I'd say it's the best. Like, I'm just gonna say that right now. This is the best season finale out of this year's, like, besides Arrow, obviously, but like out of season finales of Flash, Supergirl, and Batwoman, which are the three. Well, Flash and sorry, those three just ended recently. Out of
Yeah.
those three, I'd say Batwoman was the best, but it just doesn't feel like a finale. It feels more or less kind of like the second last episode, and then it would lead into the final episode and whatnot. That's what it feels like to me. But like,
Um,
the cliffhanger was fine. It was a great way to end off the season because now it leaves us with suspense that hey, we finally know what Bruce Wayne looks like in this universe. It'll be really interesting to
Yeah, I was just about to
So,
say, like, I disagree with you. I thought it was a good ending because of the final part where Bruce Wayne,
oh no, it was.
like
I know. I think it was a great ending. I thought it was a great way to end off the season. It's just that, you know how usually season finales work. So I didn't want to interrupt you, but how season finales work usually, it's like the main hero goes up against like the big bad
main
of the
villain.
season. Yeah.
Yeah,
They went up against someone who wasn't the big bad, and it's
I
like
get
okay,
that.
yeah, I did like how that played into Batwoman and what's his the guy Lisa Crow like Kate's father's relationship.
Yeah,
I did like how like how like he basically declared war against Batwoman. I did think that was great because it leaves so many unanswered questions that can be used as great storylines for next season. So I thought that was great. It's just that like the middle stuff, like the whole like the villain of the episode, it just didn't feel like a season finale. The other stuff did. It just that was the deranged football player. That was the most out of place in the season finale. That's
yeah,
just me, you know.
yeah. I get that. Okay, I get that.
But yeah, I did think it was a great ending. So,
I thought it was a
I,
great ending as well.
yeah, I'm
Have to
like,
wait.
yeah, waiting, really waiting to see what happens next.
Hmm.
And for those of you who are wondering about the news with Batwoman and with all the recasting stuff like that, we're going to discuss that later. We have a segment specifically for DC TV news because there's a lot that happened
Yeah, there's a
recently. So
lot. There's a lot we
yeah,
have to talk about.
yeah. But for now, we're just discussing the episode. So speaking of, we're going to move on to the next season finale, which would be Supergirl, season 5 finale of Supergirl. So what are your thoughts on that? Because I know
Oh my
because having small
god.
discussions before this podcast started, we both agreed that this wasn't really that great. But do you want to elaborate on your thoughts on that?
Okay, like this episode for me, it had its moments, obviously, but it was just so forgettable. Like I remember watching it like a couple days ago or whatever, and then I'm like, oh, I have to rewatch it again like yesterday just so I kind of remember because it was that forgettable. Like it wasn't. It has its moments with Kara and speaking in the whatever the internet universe or whatever they call it.
Yeah,
That was good. Like Lena, like making sure Kara doesn't die, and like thing that got me the most mad that Kara like says like, yeah, I'm pretty much it's going to take some time to forgive you. The same freaking day, it's like, yeah, I kind of forgive you a little bit. Like, you serious? It's one thing and you forgive
yeah.
her, sort of thing.
Here's the thing: this episode really rushed Kara and Lena's relationship because
Yes, it
okay,
did.
at the start at the end of last episode, we see Lena go to Kara asking for help, and then the next episode leads into or this episode leads off from that scene. So like, okay, they agree to work together at the start of the episode, and then when they get to Luther Core and like the lab and whatnot, like
Yeah,
Dina's lab, they start arguing and whatnot, and Kara gets like really mad at her and stuff like that. It's like I'm never gonna forgive you or some, not exactly like that, but you know what I mean. Uh,
yeah,
and then after that, like after they defeat they defeat Leviathan, and then they're like, okay, you know what, you're not so bad. They all make up at the end. It's like the pacing of this episode is so bad like,
yeah,
I understand, like, obviously the season was cut short not because of COVID-19. Obviously, that's one of the reasons why, but it was mainly cut short because of Melissa's pregnancy. Obviously,
yeah,
she's pregnant, so they had to cut the season short. But this was really bad
yeah.
because
Like,
like they rushed. Like for me, they rushed like I'd say 4 episodes worth of like character development.
yeah, like,
They really rushed
God.
it.
Bro, the
And
only good thing about this like episode was Lex. That man is a
mhm.
flipping
Actually,
genius.
I did really like Brainy. I did
Brady
like
was really good in here too.
he was about like I here's the, I know because like Brainy's like my favorite character in the show right now. And I really don't want this to happen to him. I feel like at the same time I want this to happen to him because it'll make his character arc complete because there's nothing really else for him to do. I really want
Yeah,
him to actually like,
I
die
yeah,
at the
I get
start of
that.
next season because if he dies, that means that like Supergirl's in her team or her friends will now have something to fight for. They have something. They
Yeah,
have more. They already hate Lex, they already want to defeat him, but they have something even more to defeat him because they want to get because he sucked up the Leviathan gods and whatnot.
Yeah.
He defeated Leviathan and whatnot, but like I really want like I really want Brainy. Actually I don't really want him, but I feel like this would be a good move to kill him off at the start of next season. Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Dreamer
Yeah.
arrives, like Nia, she's too late to save him because she had all those dreams and whatnot. She's too late. I feel like it's like it'll be great because he had like this mini kind of redemption arc where like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it
Yeah.
was like was it like but episode before this or two episodes before this he
Yeah.
actually
One of the,
really
I think
started
so.
he really started contemplating whether or not working with Lex was a great idea because he pushed away all his friends. And then
Yeah.
he got that kind of like conversation with like that other kind type of brain, the other Brainiac. He had that conversation in this episode, and that really kind of it's a really short arc, but I feel like if this is like short but sweet. It's although I do think this is a little bit rushed. It's kind of like this is okay for it to be rushed because like it would only work out if he actually does end up sacrificing himself
Yeah,
because
I
then that
think.
means that because then they'll make Supergirl. Sorry, I'll just finish this and then
Yeah.
I'll let go on. It would make um Supergirl be like, okay, we don't want his death, or like maybe Nia because Nia like they used to date and whatnot, but maybe like she saw like, oh, his intentions were good after all. Maybe I shouldn't be mad at him after all, but then he ends up dying. It would be great. It would be great for like Nia's character because they'll be like she goes on like kind of like this revenge type of story arc in next season, and it also it would make her like it would give her the reasoning, be like hey, let's not have Brainy's death be in vain. Let's not have we have to take down Lex, or else Brainy's sacrifice would be all for nothing and whatnot. So I feel like they should do that just to give just to make the writing more interesting, because so far, like in terms of character development and whatnot, there hasn't really like this show has been lacking. It was good in like season 3 and 4,
Mm.
but then like this season was just all over the place. It started off strong, but then it just went downhill real fast. Um
Yeah, I agree with you on like Dreamer's thing. I feel like it would be kind of cool if she becomes like, oh yeah, I don't want to put Lex in jail. I want to kill him, sort of
yeah, like
thing.
a more vengeful yeah, that's only if Brainy dies. And that's although again, like I said, he's like one of the best characters in the show right now.
Yeah.
I would want to see him actually be killed off. Just so that they would give like it would make Supergirl like it will make Nia like more like kind of vengeful in a way. More
Yeah.
sad but very vengeful and whatnot. And like maybe like next season it'll actually be like Supergirl versus Lex, like because like
Yeah.
for Lex, he's usually like just the person behind the scenes and like the 2 seasons that he was in the Arrowverse. But now,
Mhm.
I feel like with next season, I feel like he should be the main villain. I mean, I guess he is because at the end he, I guess, is hinted working with his mother because his mother got
Yeah.
like the tube of the Leviathan gods.
Yeah.
So yeah, it really does seem like that those two are going to be the main. Hopefully, they are the main villain. I really don't want to see. I really don't want to see another villain and then just have Lex be like kind of like sub villain or like someone in like the background and whatnot, like behind the scenes. I really want him to be the forefront villain of a season,
Yeah.
and I feel like it should work because well, now that he has the gods, he has them like trapped in like that tube, and like Brainy like quote unquote sacrifice himself,
Yeah.
to stop Leviathan and whatnot. But like, it has everything. Like, I feel like this finale, it wasn't that good, but what it
It
set
wasn't
up
that good.
could be even better. Like, it could make the next season even better. I just really want, like I said, Brainy to die, so it gives both Nia and Supergirl as well as all their friends a reason to fight for. Like to take down Lex. They already hate Lex, but take him
Yeah.
down even more. Have Lex be at the forefront now. He's the main villain now. Um,
Yeah, I kind of
yeah,
see it possibly going like halfway through the season. Maybe Lex gets captured and move on to a different villain. Maybe, but I doubt that. I think he'll be a whole season villain.
yeah. I really want that to happen because like he has Leviathan now. I mean, it wouldn't make any sense to introduce a new villain, especially since it was not even hinted at because at the end of season 4, we were hinted at Leviathan, and then
Yeah.
obviously Leviathan were the main villains for this season. So
Yeah.
actually, what are your thoughts on Leviathan?
I mean, I think they're super, super cool. They're pretty much gods. And I know this is kind of weird to bring up, but and I get it that Superman eventually is getting his own TV show and whatnot with whatever, but why can't like Supergirl call like Superman at this point? Like,
Yeah.
you're fighting gods, and then
Yeah.
if you have because Supergirl's technically a god, think about it, and then just bring
Hmm.
another god and it'll make it easier. But get it, he's getting his own TV show eventually and whatnot. But like, I hope with Dreamer, I hope Dreamer starts like I don't want to say turn evil sort of thing, but I kind of want to see her like get in Supergirl's face and be like, "Your way doesn't work.
Yeah.
People
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
die because of
That's
your
why I really
way."
want Brainiac to die. Well, yeah, like it sucks to have him be killed off, but I feel like
Yeah,
for the better of the show, it would make the writing a lot more interesting because like then you can have like Nia kind of go her own way, and it's like yeah, like what you're doing is not effective. I need to like if you want to take down Lex, we need to be more ruthless and stuff like that and whatnot. You know.
yeah, I totally agree with you. I just hope because Supergirl is more like, yeah, don't kill people, but pick like I think the only way she'll kill a person, same with like Superman, is like if it affects like family or friends sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like if Alex like gets captured, I feel like if she had to kill somebody, she would to save
Hmm.
her, and then something like that. But yeah, I hope Dreamer's like, yeah, your way doesn't work. It gets people killed, and you don't really even care.
Yeah,
Sort
we
of
got
thing.
hints of that in the one episode. Do you remember the one episode focused on Dreamer?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
yeah, like that episode, like she kind of had hints of that. You know, I really hope that that type of character gets fleshed out. I know it's not good for her character, but like it would
Yeah,
make the
I
writing
hope
more
that pops
interesting
out.
because like it like you don't actually you really didn't really get a lot of Dreamer this season.
Yeah, I agree.
She was introduced in last season, but like, we don't really get a lot of her.
Yeah,
And it's yeah.
yeah. Like she got her own episode or whatnot because like Girl wasn't really saving people, and then it was just Dreamer and then whatnot. But yeah, I hope she kind of turns on Supergirl a little bit. I don't say turn evil or anything. I just say like kind of go on her own maybe and be like, yeah, your way doesn't work, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I have to see. So this finale, the whole entire season for me was unforgettable. I hope next
Hmm.
season when they come back and when Corona's done and when she's done having her
Yeah.
baby, hang emoji, that it will be better. This
Yeah.
season was my least favorite. Actually, I wouldn't say it's my least favorite season. It was one of like at the beginning it was good, and then it
Yeah,
just
it started
kind
off
of went
good and then
downhill.
it just went downhill real fast. For me, I'd still say that season. Either for me, it's either between season 4 or season 3 are the best seasons. A lot of people say season 1 and 2 are good. They weren't really that good. Season
Uh,
5, I'd say I mean, season 5 for me is I'd rather watch this than seasons 1 and 2. To be
fair
completely
enough.
honest with you, because season 1 it was all right. I'd say season 2 was definitely the worst, and then I had season 1, then season 5, and then after that I have either seasons 4 or 3. You know, those can
Yeah,
be interchanged. Way. I forgot to ask you, what were your thoughts on Batwoman season 1 as a whole?
Woman season one. At the beginning, I did not give two craps about it, to be completely honest. And then at the end, when it started like going to the end, I really enjoyed it. So the whole season, I would say, I think it was good. I think it was good. The whole season was
Yeah,
good. I
yeah.
like.
For a sorry, go on.
I was just saying, like, if the beginning wasn't as bad, if it was like mediocre at the beginning, but it wasn't really mediocre for me, it was bad, and
Mhm.
then it came back to like great, then I would say it would have been one of my favorite TV shows at the moment.
Yeah,
Would said something like that.
yeah. For me, it was kind of the opposite. I feel like Supergirl and Batwoman were the opposites. Supergirl started off good. I was
Yeah,
really intrigued with the whole Lena story arc and how like she was gonna not kill, but like I really wanted to become the villain, but like obviously that didn't happen. So yeah, it started off strong, and then like after I guess Crisis on Infinite Earths, it just turned into a big mess because it didn't really know what the show wanted to do.
yeah,
It was actually the opposite for Batwoman. At the start of Batwoman, the pacing was so off. Like each episode felt rushed,
yeah,
and I feel like the last episode before Crisis on Infinite Earths, which was the Mad Tea Party episode, I in my opinion, that's still my favorite Batwoman episode, and I think that's a pretty good episode. I really
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
it was
It
a
was
really
that.
good episode.
Yeah, I was just blown away by it because I wasn't really expecting much. I was just waiting for Crisis to happen, but then that episode came along and just blew me away. So that was great, and I feel like after that episode, the show progressively got better. Not, I still think that's the best episode of the entire season, but I feel like the show was slowly finding its feet, slowly finding its footing, and actually like improved in writing, and I really enjoyed that. And I feel like when Mary joined the team, I feel like that was actually good because when you look at Batwoman team, you have Kate, who's like the badass, right? You know, she's like the
Mm,
oh, I'm gonna beat you up, like kick ass and whatnot and stuff like that. Um,
yeah,
and then you had Luke, who's like kind of like the brains of the team. You know,
yeah,
obviously he's the tech
and then
savvy.
he's sorry, and sorry to interrupt you, but I think we even talked about this in the last podcast. He's slowly turning into Batwing. Is that it?
Well, he turns into Batwing in the comics. We don't know if he's going to go that route. Hopefully, it does. But like, I feel like, I feel like he's going to become Batwing. If he is going to become Batwing, I feel like there have to be more members of the Bat team, unless we're going to be stuck with these three, which I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with
But
that too.
like, yeah, I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like we just have to wait till and see how the show progresses. And
Yeah,
yeah, as I was saying, so you have the strength of the team, which is Kate, the tech savvy of the team, which is Luke, and then you have who's the brains of the team, and then you have the kind of like the sassy or like like sass, which is Mary, and she is pretty helpful. She proved herself to be pretty helpful too.
she
I'm
is
not a
pretty
huge fan of
helpful.
her character, but like she I feel like she can be very useful.
I think she's more of like the healer of the team because she can know how to fix.
Oh yeah, she is the medic. Yeah, or I guess not medic, but yeah, she is like the doctor of the team too. So
Yeah,
yeah, I feel like the team dynamic will be really interesting.
yeah,
But so yeah, like ever since Mary joined the team, joined Batwoman's team, the show got better. But
yeah. I
like
agree.
the show was getting better in the second half of the season. The first half of the season, on the other hand, was really bad.
Yeah,
It was the biggest problem were pacing issues, and then
it was really
again, like
rough.
I said, it's the opposite for Supergirl. Because with Supergirl, it started off great. Well, not great, but it started off good. I thought in some ways it was better than season was
Mm,
season four for me was a really good season. A lot of people didn't like it because of the whole politics stuff. I don't want
yeah,
to like politics aside with season four. I thought season four of Supergirl was fine. I thought the
yeah.
writing was great. They actually brought in they actually brought in good villains and whatnot.
Mm,
And the story itself, like it's been over like a lot of people are overshadowing that season as like, oh, it's like so political and whatnot, but like it honestly didn't take sides a lot. It really like it saw both sides, but it also saw how both sides could be really extreme because it had like the whole like pro alien, anti alien type of thing going on with that season. And like it focused on Supergirl trying to not take sides, even though yeah, she prefers one side over the other. She knows that both sides in some ways are like wrong, there are some premises on both sides. And
yeah,
I liked how the show didn't really. A lot of people saw that the show was taking sides, but at the end of the day, it really wasn't. I think it handled the politics well.
yeah,
But I feel like even then with all of that, I thought that the first half of season five of Supergirl was better, just
yeah,
because there wasn't a lot of politics in it. It was straight up just like more like fantasy type of storytelling, which I was fine with because I mean this is a superhero show after all.
yeah,
So I thought, yeah, the first half was fine. I thought it was great superhero TV. But then the second half, like after Crisis, that's like show just didn't know what it wanted to be. It was very similar to the Flash. The Flash season six, like the first half, it started off really great. I thought it was really strong. I really liked
yeah,
blood work. But then the second half of the show, it just didn't know what it wanted to be. Like it just had trouble finding its footing.
yeah. I get that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that season. Yeah, that season of Supergirl wasn't the best. I will say
So
that.
uh So yeah, we can both agree that like season five wasn't that great.
It wasn't that great.
Yeah, and then season one of Batwoman it was all right. It was
Yeah,
all
I
right
could
for
say it
a
was
pilot
good.
season. Yeah.
Second half of that though really improved my ranking on it. To be fair,
Yeah, for sure, sure. And speaking of pilot seasons and whatnot, yesterday we also because we're recording this on Wednesday, so yesterday would have been Tuesday. Now Stargirl premiered on the CW on Tuesday. It premiered on the
yeah,
DC Universe, and I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I know that the DC Universe I think is just a little bit longer. I think like the DC Universe cut and the CW cut they're slightly different. I'm not too sure how different they are.
yeah,
If anyone's listening to this, you can let us know or let us know on our Instagram if you follow us at Galactic Arrowverse Hub.
yeah,
But so yeah, this for Stargirl, we're gonna be focusing on the CW cut because that's what we both watch it on. I don't,
yeah,
we live in Canada. We don't have the DC Universe app, and you
yeah.
could tell us to just watch it legally, but we can watch the show already for free and
Yeah,
legally through the
and
CW. So
legally, yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's another thing too. So Stargirl, have any thoughts on that,
Bro,
Brennan?
bro, I know. I think I told you before, like way before Stargirl came out. I know nothing about Stargirl as it is. I don't really know about the Justice Society League or whatever it's called.
Yeah, Justice
But
Society of America.
yeah, whatever it's called. But I did enjoy this episode. Me, there much went kind of too fast for me, if that makes sense. There was a lot of things happening. Makes sort of sense.
Yeah,
Felt super fast for me. Yeah, I really did enjoy it. Um,
for like
oh,
I would have liked to see Courtney's or Stargirl's like school life. We obviously got a little bit of it.
I
I
got a
think we're
little
gonna
bit of
get
it.
more of that later on this season, but I think
Yeah,
it would have. I mean, it was fine and all that. Just my like, I, I I don't want to sound like a person who bickers a lot, but the only issue I had with that show with the season premiere or the series premiere, sorry,
hmm,
was she, like staff, like she already kind of got to know the staff, like not know, but like she already like kind of got a footing with the staff. I feel like obviously they're gonna develop her relationship with the staff a lot more and like how she's gonna like work along with that thing. But like I felt
yeah,
like for me it just went by just a little bit too fast because it's like a couple minutes ago, like just a couple scenes ago, she just found the staff, and now she's like doing like
some
somersaults
shit.
and whatnot. Yeah, she's doing like somersaults on the staff and whatnot. And it's like okay, like the staff are like already like she's. I get the fact that she's adjusting to it, but like I mean, it's a little bit too fast for adjusting, So
Yeah,
um, but other than that,
me.
I love the Stargirl premiere. I thought it was a great way to open up a show.
Yeah, I
One
agree.
thing I also want to point out too, when the family was moving into the new house and they're moving that the huge crate with the staff in it. It kind of reminded me of Arrow season one, like the season series premiere
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
with
yeah,
because do you remember when that one scene in Arrow, the series premiere of Arrow, where Oliver like the guys they were moving, they're packing his stuff because he was like and whatnot, and they get to the crate with his hood and the bow in it, and
yeah, yeah,
Oliver's just like, no, I got it. I that scene came up in Stargirl. It seemed just like that. And I
yeah.
was like, that's very reminiscent. And
Yeah,
I kind of like the subtle touch to that. I don't know if anyone caught on that, but like, yeah, it was a very subtle touch.
it was
Like
a
kind of
very.
reminiscent to Arrow, and whatnot. So
I think Stargirl for me, I think Stargirl's kind of gonna be like Legends in some way. I feel like it's gonna be more comedic, like funny,
yeah,
and more than serious. But it's gonna have its serious moments,
I mean,
obviously.
yeah,
But
it's. I feel like it's because we are dealing with like high schoolers and whatnot.
yeah,
Obviously, yeah, it is going
yeah,
to be a little bit comedic too. I feel like because there's going to be the high school aspects where like there's like the typical high school bullies, which is really interesting to find out that the high school bully he's the son of like forgot his
yeah, bro.
face
There's so many
the one of
characters.
the villains from the Injustice Society, yeah, from one of the Injustice
Yeah,
Society. uh I think his name's like Brainwave
or
or something like
something
that. I
like
don't
that.
remember, but yeah, I don't really know much of the characters from the Stargirl or the Justice Society comics. But yeah, but really interesting to see. Yeah, it was really interesting. Yeah, actually, to see how the high school bully isn't like obviously yeah, it's your typical high school bully you'd find in a like a teen drama or something like that. But they add the twist that he's actually the son of one of the villains from the Injustice Society.
Yeah.
I thought that was great and
I think.
whatnot. And
Sorry, I'm thinking maybe down the road, maybe like his son kind of takes his role. Maybe
yeah,
Stargirl doesn't know how to use the staff and accidentally kills him. Then he becomes like, yeah, I'm gonna kill.
I kind of want that to happen because if you are going to, because like I think the whole point of the show is to find the new Justice Society of
Yeah,
America, the new JSA. So I feel like the next generation they're also going to create the new Injustice Society. So that'll be really interesting to see how
yeah,
that
I
works
think that'd
out
be
and
really
whatnot.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, he has a robot.
Oh yeah, Stripe. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see because I think like the stepdad, he creates that huge mech suit and
Yeah,
whatnot. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of interested. I'm really excited to see how the show turns out. I think the show has high hopes because like the characters,
yeah,
everything's there. The characters, the setting, everything about it. The
yeah.
show
I
has
agree.
it. You know.
Feel like the robot's gonna fight Solomon Grundy at one point.
Oh yeah, for sure. You can
Yeah,
just see it
so
already.
yeah, I can just see it. Like even was what was his name? Stripey. That's
Yeah,
like,
Stripes. Yeah, Stripey. Yeah.
bro. Stripesy was like, I'm curious. Like, why is he not telling her that he's her dad, sort of thing? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
Like, why is he lying about the?
yeah.
I
Why is
feel
he
like
lying about that?
I feel like for me, I think it's just because that like since like I mean his like stepdaughter already found the staff, so it's kind of like a little bit too late to not convince her to become like a new superhero or something like that. But I feel like he just doesn't want to like tell her what happened to what really happened to her dad. I mean, obviously
Uh,
she knows that Starman died and whatnot, but like I don't think like I feel like if she truly knew what happened to her dad, I feel like that would like demoralize her and like kind of push her away from her family and whatnot. Because she was like fed this life for a really long
yeah.
time. I don't know. I feel like that's what would have
After I think
happened.
about it, because I feel like maybe later in the season she's going to find out and be like, "You could have saved my dad," sort of
Or
thing.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll have to see.
Either that or either to protect her so that she never becomes a superhero. I think that's
Uh,
another thing. Yeah, it's
you
one of
know,
those
the next
typical like
episode it looks like she's going to be a superhero, but
yeah,
no.
I feel like it's one of those type of like things where it's like the mentor or the father or mother figures is like, yeah, we lied to you about the truth so that you won't follow down your dead father's footsteps and something like that,
Yeah,
whatnot.
I
See,
think the
because you
son
might
can
get
use the sword, the staff.
like that.
Sorry,
Sorry.
do you think the son can use the staff?
Probably not. I don't know if they wanted to become a superhero. Let's not talk about that right now, because we only just got the pilot episode. Let's just take things one at a time. Um, and like okay, so yeah, like the pilot episode, it would start off the show. I thought, it's there. The characters are there, the
Yep.
settings there. It has everything to be a great DC show.
Oh, Iceman, bro. Oh my god. Super excited for him.
Yeah,
I like Iceman. Okay.
yeah,
So yeah, I think the season premiere was great. Going up the car was funny.
yeah.
But still, it was really enjoyable. She's like put me down. It was kind of funny. Like it was a really funny episode. I thought so. We'll have to see. I have high hopes for this show. I think this show could. I think this show could be one of my favorite DCU TV shows if they do it right.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of DC TV shows,
Hmm.
we have a lot of news to cover.
Yeah, we have
So
so
okay,
much.
so let's first start off with the schedule. So when it comes to the CW shows, the schedule coming up because all the shows are coming back. Well, not all the shows, but most of the DC shows are coming back on January 2021.
Yeah.
And I have here the schedule with me right now. So on Sunday, Batwoman will be airing on Sundays. Uh, then on Monday will be Black Lightning. Tuesday will be The Flash as usual, and that's all we have for now for the shows that are going to be aired. We don't really know much about Stargirl like season 2. We don't know if the Stargirl season 2 is going to get greenlit or not.
Yeah.
But if it is, we assume it's going to be coming around like mid 2021. Speaking of mid 2021, there are rumors going around that Supergirl is also being pushed to mid 2021, obviously for the pregnancy and whatnot,
Yeah.
you know, and all that stuff. And then, Actually, oh, I forgot. Sorry about that. So I also forgot to mention that Superman and Lewis will also be airing on Tuesday as well. It'll be airing right after the Flash.
Okay.
So yeah, it'll be really interesting to see
It's
how
also on
all
the
these new
CW,
shows.
correct? Or is it on a
I'm
different?
sorry.
Is it on the CW, correct? Superman and Lois or
Yeah,
Lois?
Superman and Lois is on the CW. It'll be airing right after the Flash and
Okay.
Flash airs. So
Okay.
they'll both be on Tuesday. Speaking of Superman and Lewis, Batwoman and Superman are going to be getting a crossover this year, or I guess next year. And it's so random.
Yeah.
That's such a random because you think that like Supergirl and Batwoman will have a crossover,
Yeah, that's what I
and
was thinking, but
yeah,
obviously she's
but
pregnant at the moment, so I guess it makes kind
yeah,
of sense.
yeah. Or you think that the Flash and Stargirl would have crossover, like the Flash might accidentally stumble upon Stargirl's Earth and whatnot, and then like
Yeah.
they'll meet and whatnot. But um, it's so random. Now the only reason why I could see those two having a crossover is if Bruce Wayne actually comes back, because like I'm
Yeah.
obviously he has a history with both, well, not history, but like he knows both Kate as well as Clark and whatnot. So
Maybe he
I feel
comes
like
back and
that's
he's
the
like
only
mind controlled by someone or something. Maybe.
yeah. I do feel like that Bruce Wayne is going to be like because I don't really see there's no correlation between Batwoman and Superman and Lewis. So I
Yeah.
feel like for me, I just feel like that unless it might Bruce Wayne might be the connection to those two in order to have a crossover. I don't know. We'll just see later down the line.
Yeah. I thought that
Um,
was when I first heard about that. I thought it was like by those two.
yeah,
So random. I
I
like,
know
but
it
I
is
get
so
it.
random. Yeah, for sure. Um, yeah. So those all these shows. So the four shows that we know right now, four DC shows we know right now are Batwoman, Black Lightning, The Flash, and Superman Lewis coming in January 2021. You don't know the
Yeah.
exact date. We just know that from the CW that it will be coming in later next year.
Yeah.
And so there'll be no DC shows coming later this fall. Although I do think that Swamp Thing will be airing on the CW. I think in the summer. I mean I assume it's the summer. I don't know the exact date, but like I
Yeah.
don't think there is a confirmed date for when it will be airing. But yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
somewhere. I feel like for me, either maybe fall, just to fill in the void of no DC shows.
Yeah.
Because
Just
honestly, at this point,
thing.
DC shows. Well, I mean, I guess you have the 100, which is going to be airing its final season. I think I don't exactly remember when,
I
but
don't remember what they.
yeah, it will be airing its final season. So I feel like that will fill in the void for CW because at this point, after Supernatural is done, the only shows that really be carrying the CW would be the DC shows and maybe Riverdale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah, because the DC shows are like really like the CW's most accomplished thing that they have going for them right now.
Yeah,
It's what
exactly.
gets them the most views, to be fair.
Yeah.
And well, again, like I said, because the supernatural shows coming to an end. Um, speaking of shows coming, so like going back to Supergirl, or no, not Supergirl, Batwoman. Sorry.
Yeah.
Now we have the big news that I think a lot of
Really
people
big news.
really want our views on it, or really want our thoughts on it. So, Kate,
Like,
or not Kate Kane, Ruby Rose has exited the show. Now, I will bring up the statement because there is a statement that that she released, and it's so yes, she has Ruby Rose, who plays Kate Kane, aka Batwoman, as you know in the Batwoman show, she's the lead role of that show. She came out with a statement saying, "I've made a very difficult decision to not return to Batwoman next season. This was not a decision I made lightly, as I have the utmost respect for the cast, crew, and everyone involved in with the show in both Vancouver and in Los Angeles. I am beyond appreciative to Greg Berlanti, Sarah Sketcher, I can't pronounce her name, and Carolyn Dreys, who's a showrunner for that show, for not only giving me this incredible opportunity, but for welcoming me into the DC universe that they have so beautifully created. Thank you to Peter Roth and Mark Pedowitz, and the teams at Warner Brothers and the CW who put so much into the show and always believed in me. Thank you to everyone who made season one a success. I'm truly grateful." So, thoughts on this?
um, yeah, I don't really know what to say on this. Like, I'm surprised. Like I thought, if like I didn't think it was real. When I first saw it, I'm like, oh, okay, guys, yeah, ha ha ha. And then multiple posts came out. I'm like, what? Really? This is actually happening?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I was really confused. I'm like, oh, was there something going on? Was she like not happy or something? Or but
It seems like it just wasn't the career choice for her. I'm not too sure about that though. But yeah, for me, this is going to be really interesting now because I don't think in terms of DC shows,
uh,
I don't think that we ever had to recap. Sorry, I don't. Excuse me. I don't think that we ever had or Warner Brothers or whatever has to ever recast a main character for a show. Now you could say that Sarah Lance had to get recasted, but
yeah,
when
but
she
that's
was recasted, she was just a side character on Arrow. She's a
yeah,
main character now in Legends and whatnot, but like when she was recasted at first at the end of season one, she was just a side character that we didn't really expect her to come back. We didn't expect her to become the Black Canary. We thought that Laurel was going to become the Black Canary, which obviously she ends up becoming
coming.
that superhero and whatnot, or that vigilante. But yeah, never before we had to recast a main character. So
Yeah, this is like
um,
this is the main character. This is not a side character. This is the
yeah.
main person. Oh,
Okay, for me, okay, for what I think that the show should do is just get season it just get the season 2 over with, and then they're gonna have to like because here's the thing. Here's my problem, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people share this problem too. When you recast a character, you kind of lose the connection that you have with that character because it's like, okay, you had that one character played by this one actor and actress or actress. You already had that character set up, right? You already know like how they act and whatnot, and then like if you recast that character, like and like, they're the same age and whatnot. Like this character is still the same age. They haven't. Like, it's not like a 10-year time jump or like a 20-year like flashback or
whatever.
something like that. Yeah, I know. Like it's like it's not like it's gonna feel really different. This is actually one of the reasons why that I really didn't like Theo Barthon in Legends of Tomorrow. And I understand that Tom Cavanagh,
Yeah,
who plays the Harrison Wells characters, he obviously couldn't be in two sets at one time because at
yeah,
the same time of Legends season two, he also had the Flash season three, and he was playing H.R. Wells in that show at that time. So
yeah.
obviously he couldn't show up on Legends and play Reverse Flash or Eo Barthon. So he had to get in the actual Eo Barthon actor, who is Matt Lesher. I can't pronounce his. I can never pronounce his last name, but I think it's Matt Lesher. He plays Eobard Thawne. He's like
Oh,
Eobard Thawne, not like the Harrison Wells Eobard Thawne. Um, so like I mean that's why because like when I watched Legend season two, everyone admits that that's the best season. I do agree. It is the best season of Legends.
I agree.
Because it had really good villains. But the problem is that like Eobard Thawne, he just didn't feel right. He just didn't seem like the same Eobard Thawne that we all grew to love or hate in the Flash season one, and that's just because that there are different interpretations of each character played by a different actor. Um, this is why that the Barry Allen flat. Now, I understand these are two separate continuities, two separate universes, but this is why the Barry Allen in the DC movies and the DCEU movies, played by Ezra Miller, is
Yeah,
just drastically different than the Barry Allen played by Grant Gustin in the shows. Is because the Barry Allen in the movies, he's more comic book accurate than the Barry Allen in the shows, in my opinion, because he's more for comedic relief, but because the Barry in the show is played by Grant Gustin, he's more
yeah. I
serious.
was about to say, yeah, I was about to say the exact same thing. TV show is more like grown up, and I feel like
Yeah,
the movie one is just like more
he's more
young.
comic book accurate for me.
Yeah,
And so like it'll be really interesting to see how the recasting will go.
that's my thing.
I
Like, I don't know
hope
who they could get that would play him.
I hope Carolyn Dries, who is the showrunner, as well as the rest of the CW, know what they're doing. I hope they find someone who is similar to Ruby Rose, not in like by
Yeah,
looks or anything like that, but like hopefully like they deliver like the way like, the casting, the auditioning goes well. Because like they could
yeah,
like this show could very easily just like lose its grip and lose its footing. That like because for me, I feel like the show kind of had like a redemption arc because it started off pretty poorly. I mean, like prior to the pilot episode being aired for Batwoman, it had a very bad reception. Like a lot of people didn't want the show to go through because of like
Yeah.
the trailer and whatnot. But um, like now having Ruby Rose recasted, it's kind of tough now. I mean, like regardless, I just don't think that I can get myself into the new Batwoman because like it's gonna
Uh,
feel so weird. It's we've watched for around like what was it 20 episodes now
yeah.
of Ruby Rose as Batwoman, but like now that like she's no longer like playing the role, we're gonna
Yeah.
have to readjust and like yeah, we're gonna have to readjust ourselves to this new Kate Kane.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be really interesting. I don't know, like
Yeah.
I don't
Like
know.
I
I
don't
just
know
know
either.
like it's gonna be hard for me to get into the new Batwoman. Really hard to get used to it, especially since it's the main character too. It's really rare for a main character to be recast in
Yeah,
like
like
anything in general.
yeah,
So
I was gonna say like I can't think of any off the top of my head that can play Batwoman. There's probably multiple women that can,
yeah,
obviously. Like it's difficult. Like you said, like next season when we get the new Batwoman, it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be
yeah,
a
it's gonna be
whole
really
other type
weird.
of thing.
It's
I
like
feel like you have to give the person that eventually becomes Batwoman, give her a chance. If she
yeah.
sucks in the first episode, then
Well, I mean, we'll give her like a couple
fine.
episodes and like we'll
Yeah,
kind of give a judgment of like her performance and whatnot.
yeah. I don't expect them to like a big actor or something. Like
I
I
mean,
don't
Ruby
know.
Rose was pretty big. She was pretty big before
She was
joining
she,
Batwoman.
she was pretty big too, but like I don't know. Like I get your point that they don't have to get a person that kind of looks like her in ways. She just needs to be as
Like that'd be so similar to Ruby Rose's performance. I think that's what like they need, or and it's only good because like to be fair, Ruby Rose wasn't the like look, she's a great actress, but like her role as Batwoman wasn't like I mean compared to her other works, it's not that great.
yeah,
But now it's gonna be really hard to adjust her. I feel like she did do. Yeah, I do think that Ruby Rose did a good job in the fight, like the later half of the season. It's just
yeah.
that the first half of the season, she was like struggling to find to find like her like, right performance and whatnot of the character. Um, but like now, it's gonna be really tough. I
Like
guess
I
like,
just right, I just don't want this series to be canceled because of this. I don't want it
mhm,
to get canceled because I was really enjoying it. Then I just don't want it to get canceled. Like I just don't want it to be like, yeah, sorry, we can't find someone. They're going to
yeah,
find someone, but I feel like obviously, or
oh
maybe
yeah,
they have
for sure,
mind. But I just don't want this show to get canceled or this show to get worse just because they got a new Batwoman.
yeah. If it does, I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, we're have to get used to it regardless. Thing Another thing is that like I'm just gonna be so detached from like the characters now because it's like, okay, we built up this relationship between Kate and her sister, but now
Yeah,
since we're gonna be bringing a new actress, it's just like not gonna feel the same,
it's
You know what
gonna
I
be
mean? Like, yeah.
weird.
It's like one example I can bring up is actually in Star Wars: The Clone Wars with the role of Anakin Skywalker. So
Yeah.
in the Clone Wars show, he was voiced by Matt Lanter or
Hmm.
Matt Lanter, sorry. And in the movies, he was played. Well, the adult Anakin was played by Hayden Christensen. Now, in the movies, especially in Episode 3, he was Hayden Christensen was a very moody Anakin Skywalker,
Yeah.
and like you can tell, even though he had like his happy moments, he still was pretty moody. Like his type of like voice was very moody. Like he wasn't as energetic and as vibrant as say Matt Lanter's Anakin Skywalker. That's the reason why that um I'm fine with recasting because like obviously they can't really find someone that sounds exactly like Hayden Christensen. Although the old Clone Wars show they did find someone who's like a voice double basically, but like it, I it's like when I watch the Clone Wars, I just get a completely different view of the character. Like, cause then if I watch Clone Wars and I watch Revenge of the Sith, it's just gonna be I'm not gonna be feeling that same type of Anakin, because they're too like completely separate Anakins. And I know,
Yeah,
like later on near at the end of that show, we obviously get closer to Revenge of the Sith and whatnot. So Anakin does get a bit more moody, but I still don't get that same type of moodiness in Matt Lanter that I do in Hayden Christensen. And so, one of the main reasons why I'm not a huge fan of recasting roles. This is why, for me, the best bet to do is to close off this season and then just end the show. Like I don't want that to happen, but like it's just not like a lot of fans are just going to be so detached to the point where like I feel like there's
yeah,
going to be some sort of backlash, like kind of like a boycott going around with Batwoman in season 2. I don't know, like, but
yeah.
I don't
The
know.
only way
Yeah,
I think they can like make it work into the story is maybe do like how Batwoman died sort of thing or something like that.
yeah. I can't find a new body. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd like fix it, but it wouldn't make any sense. Like, yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be really
Yeah,
tough.
it really is going to be tough.
Yeah, but
Um,
we have to watch it. We have to watch the person get casted as Batwoman first. Give her a couple episodes, and you never know.
yeah.
Maybe it'll be better.
I feel like I'm gonna have to really judge her performance off just based off of how Ruby Rose did it because Ruby Rose now has basically set the standard for Batwoman because
Yeah,
now we know like okay, that's her character, like, and this is, and like the new actors, whoever that's gonna be, has to continue on that said character. So like it's really
yeah,
interesting to see how that's gonna work out. You know, but
yeah.
actually no. One example was Christopher Reeves. Christopher Reeves, obviously, like by the time of Superman Returns, we had Brandon Routh casted
Hmm.
as Superman, and he did a good job playing Christopher
Yep.
Reeves as Superman because it was a continuation of the Christopher Reeves character. Um, and obviously we got that later on in Crisis on Infinite Earth. So I think it's great. Hopefully the CW knows what they're doing when it comes to audition. I feel like auditioning is going to be really crucial. I feel like they're going to be judging based off of Ruby Rose's performance and see how well it compares to whoever they're going to be casting and
They
whatnot.
kind of have to be
Yeah,
honest.
they definitely need to. Yeah, they need to for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we have another news. Now, this isn't really DC TV related, but it is DC. And there has been a lot of hints recently that um, the Snyder Cut for Justice League might be released soon. We don't know exactly, but we know it might be released soon. And yeah, because Jason Momoa, he went on like a mini rant, not really a rant, but he just wanted him saying like release the Snyder Cut, and apparently there's rumors going around that Zack Snyder might hold a screening for that for the Snyder Cut. You know, him and like maybe like some executive members of Warner
Yeah.
Brothers and whatnot will be watching the executive cut and see whether or no watching the Snyder Cut, sorry, and see whether or not they want to release it. So I guess this is really exciting news for DC fans. I'm
Yeah,
not too big on the hype for Justice for the
I'm the
Snyder
same.
Cut. Just even though I am a huge DC fan, I'm just not a huge hype because like the cut obviously like Justice. There's a lot of stuff cut out of Justice League. Apparently, the Snyder Cut is around like 4 hours long. Uh,
4 hours. That's
yeah, it's real. Apparently, it's really long. So it'll
okay.
be interesting to see how it will turn out. I'm just not on like the hype the same way other fans are because obviously
Yeah,
I think everyone knows the hype going around the Snyder Cut.
yeah.
I'm not
Like
really
I
on the
get
hype
it.
train,
Not
but
about the
like
hype train either, but like because WAP, I don't know if it will be better than the first one. I don't know.
yeah,
I like it's longer, obviously, but we'll have to see. Maybe it's more. Maybe he develops characters more besides just throwing them in. Maybe get a little bit known as more about the Flash or Cyborg or Wonder Woman or whatever.
yeah. I feel like I do feel like that there was a lot of stuff cut out.
Yeah.
Um,
So
but yeah, like it's really interesting news. Really exciting for DC fans. Although
that is really
it is
exciting.
pretty. I feel like if they actually release it, finally. Oh, um, sorry, I'm just getting the news now because I my phone was on airplane mode. But I believe that the Snyder Cut will actually be released on HBO Max in 2021. Hold on, I'm need to confirm this.
The HBO. Oh, wow.
Oh wait.
Damn.
Oh. 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 Yeah. So I'm sorry. This shouldn't really be happening in a podcast, but I just had. Yeah, the HBO Max will actually be releasing the Snyder Cut. Zack Snyder's
In
Justice League.
2021?
Yes, in 2021. It says here, release the Snyder Cut only on HBO Max 2021.
Oh, wow.
Oh, this is huge news for DC fans.
This
This
is
is
huge.
huge news. So,
Oh my god. I'm super excited. Actually, I'm like I'm like on the hype train, but now that it's like confirmed it's coming out, I'm like, oh my god, it's actually happening.
I know. Now we can finally have everyone stop the hype train because
Oh my god,
it's
yeah.
been so long. It's been so long and so annoying that like, do you remember the whole like there were like people like I think in like New York or something like that where people are putting up billboards just to release the Snyder Cut, and now it's actually coming to.
Oh my god,
This
bro.
is great for no. Even though this all should be planned before the podcast. This is
Yeah,
great. I love this.
great.
This is
Yeah,
you
bro, this
guys,
is really good.
ladies and gentlemen. You're getting a live reaction of both Brendan and I finding out that the Snyder Cut is actually coming. Actually going to be released. Oh, this is so interesting.
Oh, everything's
Oh man.
2021. 2021 is gonna look great. The Marvel movies are coming back. DC stuff's coming out, bro. We are set. 2021 is gonna be a good year.
I know.
Oh
Oh,
my
you want to know
god.
something too? The news came out like 5 minutes ago. So while we're recording this, bro, while we're recording this, you
This is
have the
so
Snyder
good.
Cut being released. Oh, that's great. Because right before we started this podcast, we are just like, yeah, like we might throw in the Snyder Cut just because like there's rumors about it going around. But now, like, well, I guess while we're recording, while we're talking about whatever, Snyder Cut gets
Oh,
released.
bro,
Oh
this
man.
is so good.
This is
2021
this
is
this
gonna
is
be the
good.
best
This is
year,
great
bro.
content. So,
Bro.
ladies and gentlemen, you have it confirmed. The Snyder Cut is coming. Is actually being released. It is coming to HBO Max in 2021. 2021 is
Oh,
going to be
oh my god.
hopefully
2021 is gonna be lit.
yeah, it's going to be lit. It's so
Man,
sick.
movies coming out, bro. Everything's gonna be great, bro.
Yeah,
2021 is gonna be amazing.
yeah. Can we just cancel 2020 and just move on to
I just can we just
2021?
cancel 2021 and just go to 2021, bro? Oh my god, this
Yeah,
is
I know.
amazing.
Oh man, but I guess that's a great way to end off the podcast there. Thank
That
you for
was really
stopping
good.
by. I am Marley,
And
and
Brennan,
yeah, and be sure to check us out on Galactic Arrowverse Hub. Stay tuned. We're gonna post more updates there and all that
yeah,
DC stuff, whatever. Hope you all enjoy the new news that Stacksiders cut will finally be released. See you guys all
have
in the next one.
a good day.